Hey guys, it's Penguin here, and welcome back to another gold making video. Now this video is going to be about legendaries. Now we're going to be talking about how to figure out if legendaries are still worth it, especially if you're somebody who wants to get into the market and you're like a fresh player. I'm going to talk about how you can calculate each single step and figure out if it's profitable on your server. So I'm actually really excited about this video. It's something I've talked about a few times on stream, but I thought it's finally time. Since Korthite Crystals are slowly getting more stable, I thought it's the perfect time to finally release this video. But without further ado, we are going to get right into it. Alright, so to start this off, firstly, I'm just going to talk about the legendary situation right now, just for a brief moment before we get into the actual math involved. So if you guys were unaware, it actually happened a few weeks ago at this point, but there was a buff to Korthite Crystals, which has caused a massive drop to Korthite Crystal prices. What has happened is basically the amount of Korthite Crystals that are dropping and that we're receiving from Quest have, tripled, quadrupled, all of this. So there's a ton of Korthite Crystals that used to be not there. So right now, as you can see right now on my server, these used to be for a solid, let's say 1,500 gold to 2,000 gold. And right now it's currently dropped to about 530. And on a lot of servers, this could even be in the 200s. So right now, Korthite Crystals have dropped, which has caused that question, are legendaries still worth it? If we want to take a look real fast, if we just look at the tailoring pieces, as you can see, a Grimworld cape, as you can see, like my previous sold, I've sold this at 284,000 gold at some point, and now they're currently sitting on the auction house for about 44,000. So definitely, due to the Korthite crash, some of these prices have crashed as well, but that is okay because we're going to work it out and see if it's worth it, even though the price has dropped a tiny bit. So what you're going to need for this video is I currently have a spreadsheet that is available to everybody. This is called my legendary calculator. You can find it in the description or inside of my Discord. And all you will need to do once you open this, you will need to go to File, and then you will need to go to Make a Copy, and then save it to your own Google Drive. If you ask to open it or anything like edit permission, you're not going to have access to the file. You have to make a copy. But once you do that, then it will be saved to your own Google account. So make sure you're signed in, and then we can work it out from there. So what I have already done before this video is I have gone through this list and updated the price for every single piece item that's right here. So what you will need to do is go through this list in this yellow column and just type in the price for each object. Some of these items, for example, like the enchanted lightless silk, because I can craft my own enchanted lightless silk, I created my own price. If we want to look at an example, if we go to enchanted lightless silk, right now, as you can see, right now it's on the auction house for 92 gold, and market value is about 78 gold, but because of the price that I personally buy my lightless silk, as well as my soul dust, TSM is telling me I can make it for about 45 gold, and I can actually make it for even less than that. So for my personal price, I put in 40 gold. So if you are a crafter, you definitely want to put in the cheapest price possible, which means you might have to craft that item. But just be aware of that. If I had, 92 in this situation, the prices would look extremely different. So just take the time to look through that, see what you can make the cheapest, and then you're good to go. So for this example, I think the best way to level up legendaries is to go by one rank at a time and one piece of item at a time. I'm going to take this route as if you were a new person into legendaries, so you don't have anything leveled up, and I'm going to break it down and show you how you can kind of see if there's profit there. Now, over on this side, this is the best in slot items for patch 9.1, and basically all you have to know is it's ranked best to worst or most used to least. So currently right now the rings are used the most, then the cape, neck, etc., and the cloth pants and about the male pants are used the least, not including the ones that have zero use. But With that being said, because rings are best in slot, we're going to use this as our example. So what we can do is go over to this jewelry crafting slide, and due to the prices that we inputted later, if we wanted to rank up legendaries all the way to max for jewelry crafting, because we're going to be ranking up both of these, it's going to cost us about 700,000 gold. But in this scenario, we're only going to focus about the rings, so we're just going to get rid of all the necklaces. So in this case, if I was, a brand new jewelry crafter leveling up jewelry crafting rings, I would have to make 15 rank 1s, 15 rank 2s, 15 rank 3s, and finally I would unlock rank 4s. So this will cost us about 366,000 gold. To keep this still on screen, I'm going to go over here and just type in some data to keep track of everything. So the cost is going to cost us about 366,000. Now, if we want to go back into here, for example, we're not going to even look at the Korthite crystals yet. We're strictly just going to look at rank 4 rings. So if I want to do that, I'm going to type in Shadowghast rings. And as you can see right now, I am selling the rank 4 rings for about 58,000 gold on my server, which is super nice. As you can see in my mailbox, I've actually sold one previously. And, from each ring we're selling, I'm making about 50, we can go with like 55,000. If you guys want to see previous data, of course, every server is going to be different, so you're going to want to make sure you look at your own server. But these are my sales from the past few days. And, this is about 20 days ago and everything. And as you can see, on average, I'm selling this for anywhere between, high 30s to almost 50. So, for this example, because we have some cheaper ones, we're going to use 45,000 gold. So, because we're just going to say that every time we sell a ring, we get 45,000. So, 1 rank 4 equals 45k sold. So, we're just going to keep that there. So, now we need to calculate exactly how much profit that is. So if we were to create 1 rank 4, it would cost us about 19.5 thousand gold in order to create us 1 rank 4 ring. So if I just subtract that from that 45,000, which I'm using a calculator, I'm not going to do this in my head, then a rank 4 equals that much gold profit per ring. Alright, so every time we sell a rank 4 ring, we're going to be making about 25,000 gold profit. Now, that seems super, super good. That is definitely on the extremely high side. But now we need to make sure how much and how long it's going to take for us to break even. Because at this point, yes, every time we invest 20k, we're going to be making 25k. But remember, we had that initial investment of about 30 or over 300,000. So if we were to just divide that 366,000 by our profit, it would cost us about 14.2 rings to break even. So getting about 25,000 gold every single time we, sell a ring. And with that initial investment of about 350,000 gold, it would cost us about 14.2 rings in order to break even. Now, every server is going to be different in terms of sale rate. I mean, on some high pop servers, you can literally sell 10 plus rings every single day. So, of course, this might be only 2 days worth of sales for you to break even. But on my population server, it's definitely a lot slower. So, if we were just wanted to count about 14 rings, we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So, actually, this is a rank 6, so we're just going to go 15 right here. And so that took us about 20 days in order to sell that. So that is, of course, my server data. I am on a medium pop server. Your high pops are going to be completely different. I transferred one character over to Illidan, which is a high population server, a full population server on the US realms. And it took me about a day and a half to sell out my 12 rings that I brought over. So definitely you could get this done in a day depending on, how much you're selling and what your server. But on my current server, because this is that demonstration, it would take about 20 days to break even. So from the looks at this, 20 days seems insane, but of course it's my server. So, after those 20 days, I will be making profit every single time. So, just like I said before, it took 20 days in order to break even, which means it took 20 days to sell about 15 rings. So using that method that we just used, if we wanted to say it took 20 days to break even, which means it takes us about 20 days to sell 15 rings, since this is a little bit over 14, using that same logic, after those 20 days, so in total of 40 days, that other period of time, we would be making 386k profit every single 20 days if we can sell 15 rings. So that's just a little bit more on the complicated side, but right now I would say yes, legendaries are worth it if I was starting from scratch, because it does not take a lot of effort to break even at all. We're now going to go into another example using the higher rank 6s and everything, and I'm going to move over to that right now. So we are now going to be talking about tailoring, and right now, let's say you wanted to rank up tailoring from 0 to everything. It would cost about 1.1, or we can round to 1.2 million to do that. But as you can see, there's only 3 items that actually have a best in slot. So what we're going to do is, if you just wanted to get rid of everything, let's say that did not have a best in slot value, it would only cost us about 381k in order to rank up capes, mittens, and pants. But what I can do, I'm going to analyze my own server. So if I were to go under the Grim Veiled stuff and scroll down, as you can see, even though capes are the best sellers, capes are actually the cheapest among the bunch. As you can see right here, the rank 4 is only going for about 8.5k, and the rank 6 is going for about 44,000. So even though that's the best seller, that price is pretty low. The next best in slot, if we want to take a look, are the mittens. So the mittens isn't crazy high like the capes, but we can take a look at it since it is second best on our list. And we can just make this easier by typing in mittens. And as you can see, this looks a lot better. As you can see right now, the rank 4s are going for about 18,000. Then we have the rank 6s going for about 120,000. And if we want to take a look to prove that it sells, right here, 1 day ago, I sold one of these rank 6s for 123,000 gold. So the best thing on my server would be to probably level up these mittens first. Of course, you will have to analyze just like I did on your personal server. So now we have decided to level up the mittens. I'm going to erase the other 2. And to level this up all the way to rank 4, it's going to cost us about 128,000 gold to level. So the first part of this, just like the previous example, we're going to start with the basic rank 4s. So if I were to, craft one rank 4 mitten, it would cost me about 6.8 thousand gold, and I'm selling this for about 18.8. So what I'm going to do is take that 18,854 number, and I'm going to multiply it by 0.95 to make sure I take that auction house cut. So every time we sell this, and as you can see I sold one 2 days ago, we're going to be making just a little bit under 18,000 gold. So what we can do is now take the cost out of it, and we're left with about 11,045 gold profit per rank 4. I'm just going to make this look a little bit nicer. There we go. Now what we can do with that is just like before, we're going to take that leveling up number of the 128k, divide it by that 11,000 number, and in order to break even, it would cost us about 11.5 mittens to sell, which is super awesome. And once again, you can calculate using your cost, you can estimate on your server and figure out that break even point. But the beauty of this is now we can look at the rank 6s. So this right here is scenario 1. If we want to go back into here, as you can see, I've constantly been selling these rank 6s, and I've been selling them for over 120k, which I do understand is quite an abnormal price, but since this is my medium pop server, I am going to take advantage of it. So, with that being said, in order to make one rank 6, it's going to cost me about 35.8 thousand to make. So, just like I did previously, we can go into the game. If I sell these for about, 100, a little less than 120k, take that auction cut out. So we could sell it for about this price whenever it goes through the mailbox after the auction house cut. So if we just want to get rid of that cost, we are making about 78,000 gold profit per min, which is absolutely insane. This is definitely a very, very good case scenario for my server, but some servers might be like this, so we can just, take a minute and look at this. So once again, if we do want to figure out how much it's going to cost to break even, we're going to use that cost to level and divide it by our profit, and it would literally cost 1.6 mittens to break even. So, in this case, once you sell 2 rank 6s, then you will be making profit. You'll be making actually a pretty good amount of profit as long as you sell 2 mittens, and every single mitten after that initial investment, you're going to be making 78,000 gold. To kind of back up this statement, if I do want to go into the ledger, into revenue, and I want to type in Grim Veiled, it's going to take a second to load. And there we go. Just like that. As you can see, I haven't sold a lot of these mittens. The reason for that is a combination of, price at the right time. But this right here is a rank 4, which I sold about 10 days ago. And 2 days ago, I sold this mitten, which this is the rank 6, for actually 180,000 gold. So this is actually a lot more profit than we would have calculated before. And lastly, right in here, as you can see, I have that sold mitten as well. So with that being said, it took us about 2 days because this was a sale from yesterday. And then this is also a sale from 2.5 days ago. So it took about 2.5 days in order to make my money's worth. And I actually have a pretty good amount of profit because of the fact that this was definitely a lot higher sale. So, if every 2 days, or I guess I should say every day, I'm selling 1 rank 6 mittens, then, I can make a ton of gold by just slowly selling these every single day. But yeah, guys, that is kind of how I use the spreadsheet, and this was my intention of the spreadsheet, to kind of help you guys figure out exactly what you're looking for. I do understand that this can be more of kind of a complex math, kind of equations and stuff, so I do apologize about that, but please do not hesitate to either ask me questions in the comments down below, DM me in Discord, or just ask in the general Discord about any questions that you might have, anything that seemed unclear or a little bit confusing. Sometimes I say stuff and it doesn't always come out right, but you guys can use this for any legendary you want. So you can use this for tailoring, jewelry crafting, blacksmithing, or leatherworking. It does not matter. And of course, these profits, the ones that I showed you, are definitely a lot better than average. Of course, you want to take advantage of your server's prices. So, sometimes you might only receive 2 to 3 or 5k profit per item. So you're not always going to see this high number, but every single 5k counts, and eventually you are going to be able to break even. On my server, I get a lot less sales, but I make up for that in my profit margins. So if you're on those full pop servers, no matter the region, you're definitely going to have a hit to your profit margins, but you're going to be able to make it up with your frequent sales. But I hope this video kind of cleared up the questions of, are legendaries still worth it to me? Should I level them? Is it too late? But thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, be sure to join that Discord down below. And of course, have a good day.